Hello. So today I want to talk to you kind of about calories, and specifically, are there factors that control what your body does with the calories you consume? And there are a lot of factors. So I kind of want to do a deeper dive related to this. And so understand, that calories are simply a measurement of energy, and how and we consume these calories in the food that we eat. But the foods we eat contain a whole bunch of different kind of macro elements, and depending on different things, our body's going to process this differently. So the first thing that affects how our calories are utilized in the body is kind of the hormonal composition. So insulin, is related to kind of moving the products of digestion into a storage or into use for energy. And so if you have problems with your insulin levels, this can greatly affect that. And you see that in diabetes, and specifically type 2 diabetes. And this can really impact how your body is using the calories. And so it's essential that you kind of try to maintain your body in a state that is kind of maximally efficient. So working to make sure your hormonal composition is balanced is really important. And there's things you can do for that. When we talk about insulin, exercise is really important because that increases the efficiency of insulin. Also, the types of food you're eating impacts insulin. But really understanding the hormonal balance is something that's essential for understanding how your body is utilizing the calories you're consuming. Another big impact on how the body utilizes the calories is inflammation, specifically chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation, as we've said before, is a big factor in driving various chronic diseases, but it also has a very large impact on how well your body is utilizing the calories that you're consuming. So if you're having liver problems, that's going to impact things, thyroid problems, different things like that. But inflammation affects all these organ systems. So things you can do, to help prevent the inflammation is obviously exercise. Again, is something that can reduce insulin or reduce inflammation. But also the things you eat have an impact on inflammation. So moving on. The food types are also very important on how your body uses the calories, specifically processed foods. So processed foods really have a negative impact on your body's ability to utilize calories. And so we really want to try to avoid processed foods as much as possible. We want our calories to come from kind of whole fresh foods, and really try to avoid highly processed foods. How you prepare your food also impacts the way your body's going to use the calories. So whether it's cooked, raw, steamed, boiled, fried, all these have an impact on how your food or how your calories are going to be utilized. So you can see there's lots of things we can do to really increase the efficiency of our bodies. Now, another thing is called the thermal effect or thermic effect of foods. And what that means is kind of what is the composition of the food you're eating, the macronutrients, the fats, the carbs, and the proteins. And the thing that's interesting is, that if you have a diet that's high in protein, well, really 20 to 30% of the calories you're consuming are then utilized just in processing the protein, whereas carbohydrates require only about 10 to 15% of the calories, and fats even require much less, 0 to 5. So the composition of the foods you're eating, whether it's high in protein, carbs, or fat, really has an impact on how your body processes the calories. Another big impact is meal timing, meaning what time do you eat? If you eat late at night versus early in the morning, this is going to have an impact on what your body does with these calories it's consuming. And so eating at appropriate times is really, really important. So we talk about, not eating late at bedtime, things like that, because that's going to really have a negative impact on how your body's processing these calories. So really understanding your kind of circadian rhythms and eating in alignment with that's really, really important. Now, another impact is really your digestive deficiency. And what I mean by that is, do you have anything that's going on with your digestive system that can impact this? You know, maybe you have an underlying gluten problem that causes inflammation of the digestive tract. Maybe you've had surgery where part of your colon's been removed. Now, all these things have an impact on how well your body is going to really process these calories. And then along the lines of your digestive tract is kind of the microbiome. What's the makeup of that? And there's different things that we've learned about the microbiome. There's still many things that we don't know, but the importance of this is really the foods you're eating really have a great impact on the microbiome. So if you have a diet that's high in highly processed food, added sugars, things like that, your microbiome is really being developed to support the bacteria that thrive in that. And unfortunately, those bacteria often lead to kind of unhealthy consequences. And so it's important, again, like I've said before, you want to eat what's kind of clean, meaning, whole food, fresh foods, minimal processed foods. And really the point here is that the highly processed foods and all the things that I'm talking about really can be detrimental to your body's ability to really process those carbohydrates. So, I know that there's a lot here, and the important thing is to really understand that when we consume calories, it's not just we consume and every calorie is treated the same way. There's many things that we can do to impact how our body utilizes those calories. Then there's also things we can do by the foods that we select on how we're getting those calories, whether it's whole foods versus highly processed foods. So, hopefully this sheds a little light as we enter the holidays, and we'll probably all be consuming more calories than we should. But just think of it in this light that it's okay to have enjoy food and life, but the impact you're having on your body can be immense if it's something that you do repetitively and it's picking the kind of the wrong things to eat, such as highly refined or processed food. So hope you find this helpful, and we'll catch you next time.